What if I told you that everything that you formerly believed about love is a lie? Romance is fiction. Romance is a lie. It has absolutely, positively nothing to do with love, true love, lasting love, meaningful love. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you as clearly as possible why I stand by this presentation. What I'm going to share with you right now is something that took me 50 years to learn. 50 years of experiences, of bad relationships, of disappointments to come to what I'm going to share with you now in probably less than 10 minutes, something that took me over half a century to realize. It is funny how we can learn the most profound truths in some of the most unlikely places. A little bit about myself. I have a master's degree in psychology. I've written maybe 7 books, but so what? So what? Who cares? The idea is, what is it that I can offer you that will help you to transform your life in a very positive way? I learned my greatest lesson as to what love is about, truly about, not from the tomes and books that I have read while in graduate school on psychology, but from a taxi cab driver here in Columbia where I live. One day he was taking me to, I don't remember, an appointment of some sort, and we began to talk about the whole idea of love. And he said something that was so profound, it blew me away, and that the more I thought about it, the more I realized how right he was. He said, love is not an emotion. Love is a decision. That blew me away. The more I thought about it, the more spot on I saw that that statement was. Love is not an emotion. Love is a decision. You see, romance is a fiction. Romance is a lie. Romance is an exaggerated version of another person who you feel needs to complete you, who you feel needs to make you a complete person, which in and of itself is a mistake, because you're not a half of a person, you're a complete person, and no one can complete you except God. God is the only essence that can complete you. There is no woman or man on this earth, no other human being can complete you as a person. You are already complete, and the idea that another person needs to complete you, you're starting out with a weakness. You're starting out with a dependency. Romance is an artificial environment that anyone can create if they know a little bit about what restaurant to go to, what food to order, what gifts to give, what surprises to make, what ambiance, what music needs to be played. Anyone can create a romantic ambiance, and the mistake is confusing the ambiance and the feeling that you get with love. This is nothing to do with love and everything to do with fiction. Most people, when they are quote unquote in love, make deities out of the other person, make gods out of the other person. You doubt me when I say this? Listen to what people say to each other. I need you. I adore you. I can't live without you. You're my everything. And these exaggerated, erroneous concepts are reinforced in the romantic songs. Romance tends to deify another person in the sense that they become the adoration of that person. You are my everything and my everything is you. There was a song that actually had those lyrics. This is something that you should be attributing to God. In fact, adoring another person, worshiping another person, believing another person can complete you is in violation, if you happen to be biblically inclined, of the first commandment. Thou shalt not have false gods before me. And you make another person a false god in the moment that you believe that that person can complete you, and you believe that that person is your all and everything. The idea with romance is that it creates a world that allows you to feel something that's not real. Most of the time when people say I love you, it is conditional. In fact, all romantic relationships are conditionally based. You do this and I will do that. As long as you do this, I will do that. In fact, I somewhat laugh when in a new relationship I'll hear a woman say, I love you, I really love you. And I take this with a grain of salt, because usually in a romantic environment, I love you is said, but there's something else that's whispered after a person says I love you that you don't really hear. But nevertheless, it is whispered after the person says I love you. What do I mean by that? A person says, I love you as long as you don't piss me off. I love you as long as you fulfill my expectations. I love you as long as you don't disappoint what I feel that you should be doing for me. You see, romantic love is conditional, and you must understand that true love, real love, is a decision. Every day that you decide to love a person, in spite of whatever flaws, idiosyncrasies that the person might have, this decision is a decision of love. You love a person by decision in spite of the fact that they have this flaw. You love a person and forgive a person in spite of whatever it is that is not perfect about them. Forgiveness is a decision. Consistency is a decision. Love is a decision to continue to make allowances, be patient, and forgive the person in spite of their imperfections. This is what love really is. A decision to love a person in spite of their imperfections. Now, the idea when you're getting to know someone is, I like to say, you need to get to know the consistent person rather the romantic person. The romantic person is the fiction. The consistent person is the real person that you need to get to know. In fact, in a relationship, my suggestion is that you get to know and experience and see the person in as many non-romantic situations as possible, because it is in the non-romantic situations that the true character of the person comes out. And this is the person who you are relating to. So the idea that I want to emphasize to you is that you must get to know the consistent person versus the romantic person, because this is the real person with whom you are deciding to relate. So, with this, I hope that you understand from this point on that romance is kind of like going to Disneyland. You know that Disneyland is fantasy, that it's a fiction, but you enjoy the rides anyway. You enjoy the experience of Disneyland anyway. But when you leave out of the park, you know that this is the reality that you need to relate to. You don't confuse Disneyland with reality. You just enjoy it while it lasts. I'm trying to say to you is that enjoy the romance when you experience it, but realize that it's Disneyland of reality, and that when the romance is over, you need to observe and relate to what consistently the person is doing and being and offering you, because this is the person with whom you will need to relate to. So, I hope you got a little bit better perspective as to how you need to relate to romance versus understanding that the observation of the consistent person is what really counts. Okay. I hope you got it. And this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, your consistency success coach, wishing that you always stay consistent and be successful.